you Nightly News with Diamond Covington. We begin tonight by addressing whether healthcare is a privilege or a right. It has been an ongoing debate for many years. However, the debate has reached its peak point when the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, came apart. The biggest issue was it made American citizens purchase the insurance or be taxed for it. Many felt that at that moment, healthcare became an opposition, whether if it's a right or a privilege. The next question is, why and how does this argument apply to nursing? Here's Donathan, Michaela, and Emily at the Mary Black School of Nursing with their thoughts. We're live at the Mary Black School of Nursing. I have Michaela McCraw here, and she's going to tell us her thoughts. Mrs. McCraw, is healthcare a privilege or a right?
I believe that healthcare is a privilege.
Really? Why?
I think that no matter what people say, healthcare is never going to be free. Someone has to pay for that, whether that's through raising taxes or acquiring more U.S. debt. It's going to be paid for some way or another.
Right. What issues go into answering this question, Mrs. McCraw?
I believe that you have to think about the wait time, especially for like specialty services.
Right.
I think the average right now in America to see a specialist is maybe 2 weeks or a little over 2 weeks.
Wow.
Whereas in other countries with free health care, like maybe Canada, it's 8 to 9 weeks to see a specialist.
Wow.
That's the wait time. And you got to think of it, because if so many people can just go see a specialist, because it's all of a sudden free, that could be detrimental to the citizens who actually need to go see a specialist, like who actually have something wrong with them and can pay to go see a specialist. They're going to have to wait longer now because just anybody can go.
What are some factors that affects one's access to health care?
I believe you have to think about a person's socioeconomic status. Can they afford health care? Can they afford the insurance for health care? Can they afford a car or transportation to healthcare? And also just their knowledge, like are they knowledgeable about what healthcare services are available to them or not?
Do you honestly think that healthcare is improving for populations and communities?
I think it also depends on what type of community that you're talking about. If you're talking about, middle class or higher, I don't really think there's many issues whenever it comes to healthcare. Now, for lower class, I believe that you need to have these organizations to go in there and to reform these communities, teach them about financing, budgeting, how to have great job security, and then maybe that will help them to, where they can finance or afford health care. As it's stated in the preamble, is that we're supposed to promote the general welfare, but that doesn't mean that we're supposed to provide it.
Right. Thank you so much, Mrs. McCraw. Now we're here with Mr. Donathan Dendy. How are you, Mr. Dendy?
I'm pretty fine. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Do you think that healthcare is a privilege or a right?
I think healthcare should be a right.
Okay. Explain.
I believe that everyone deserves the right to healthcare no matter where you come from in life.
Do you think criminals and those type of people should deserve healthcare?
Absolutely.
We'll be back after this short break. Sorry for our brief interruption. The patient was fully resuscitated, but she's okay now. Back to Mr. Dendy. All right. What factors influence a person's access to healthcare?
I think a major factor that influences a person's ability to get healthcare is their income and their socioeconomic status.
What class do you think have those issues, and why?
Mainly lower class, just because they're barely making ends meet, and they're living just barely above the
Do
poverty
you
line.
think that healthcare is improving for populations and communities?
I believe healthcare is improving. After the passing of the Affordable Care Act, you can see an increase in the amount of people that actually have healthcare, and people as a population are becoming more healthy.
Thank you for your opinion, Mr. Dendy.
No problem.
Excuse me, Mrs. Willard.
Hi.
Can I ask you a few questions, please?
Sure.
Hi, we have Emily Willard here. Do you think healthcare is a privilege or a right?
I think it's a right.
Really? Okay. And why?
I just think that everybody deserves to have health care.
I agree. And what are your responsibilities as a nurse in this debate?
Honestly, just, take the best care of your patients as you can. That's really all you can do.
What is the state of healthcare, and what can nurses do to assist?
I don't think the state of healthcare is that great right now, but there's not much that I know as nurses that can do to assist in that. We just have to give the best patient care as we can.
What resources should nurses be familiar with?
Nurses should just be familiar with any resources that will help continue care to our patients after they leave the hospital. So patient care just doesn't only happen here. We have to educate our patients so that they know where to go, how to take care of themselves, what resources they can have after they walk out of the hospital.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Willard.
Welcome.
Sorry for interrupting you. Mrs. Simpson,
Yes.
do you mind if I ask you some questions about healthcare?
I mean, a little busy right now, but I guess so.
Okay, let me brief. Do you think that healthcare is a privilege or a right?
It is totally a privilege. I mean, who's gonna take care of our families when y'all do all this free stuff? I mean, we have to take care and feed our families too.
You're right. What are your responsibilities as a nurse in this debate?
Our responsibilities are to educate our patients better so they won't be in the hospital as much and all that.
I agree. What is the state of healthcare and what can nurses do to assist?
What can we do as assist is the healthcare is rising in the cost, but the care is not getting any better.
Okay.
What we can do is, gain more knowledge, not just requiring the education to keep our license, but just get more knowledge daily so we don't have all these patients daily.
And what resources should nurses be familiar with?
We should be familiar with nutrition resources such as SNAP and WIC, education classes such as breast cancer, breastfeeding, infant care, and such things like that.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Simpson, for your time.
All right.
And there you have it, folks. That's it for your USCU Nightly News. Thank you for tuning in. Good evening. This is the USCU. Wait, I should look that way. I'm crying.
That's going
Sorry.
to actually, I think.
Wait.
Never mind.
We'll be right back after the short break. Do you think that healthcare is improving for populations and communities?
I don't.
That's not what your question is. Gosh, man.
They leave the hospital because I don't think that
Simon Simpson.